Hello everybody, Nick here at Scoggin-Dickey. We have a great big lump of news coming out of the Raceshop here, and when I say big, I mean it in every sense. Big cubes, big power, and big size. I'm a big boy, y'all have seen me before. Look at this thing compared to me, what a monster. Now, we've done crate engine uncrating videos before, but nothing like this. This is the largest cubic inch displacement motor we've ever uncrated back here. This is also the highest horsepower one we've uncrated back here. We've done the Ford Godzilla, we've done the Mopar Elephant. This though, this is the Chevrolet Performance ZZ632 1000. This thing makes 1,000 horsepower on 93 octane. I do mean that, 93 octane. No tricks here, I'm not lying, I'm not trying to, it wasn't one hero pulling a dyno pass. This is a verified, certified from Chevrolet Performance for less than 30 grand, 1,000 pump gas horsepower. So I'm here to tell you what they did to get it there. And let's just start from the ground up. This thing takes an all special to its own bow tie cast iron Chevrolet Performance block with steel main caps. It is a tall deck block. To get 632 cubes out of it, that's 4 600 bore, 4 750 stroke. They have to run that tall deck. Inside, forged steel 4340 crankshaft, 4340 H-beam connecting rods, and of course some 2618 super high strength forged alloy pistons. Compression ratio, 12:1. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain how they can do 12:1, 1,000 horsepower, and pump gas all in one engine. It's really trick. On top of this engine, you have these super special high flow cylinder heads. Again, only for the 632 engine. They actually say RSX on the front. I'll explain that here in a minute too. But inside is a 2450 intake valve and a 1800 exhaust valve. The intake valve is made out of titanium. They really spared no expense on this. And the ports are massive. Real quick tip for you guys that are gonna buy one of these and put it in something, get ready to pay big bucks for some headers. It does use the standard exhaust flange that a big block Chevy head uses, but that's where it ends. Tall deck, the port's been raised a lot. You will not be able to take anything off the shelf and bolt it up to these, at least in a car with floor pans. So get ready to get out a welder and pay some big bucks, but you're gonna wanna do it for something as special as this. Now, it is fitted with a massive camshaft. It's 270 degrees of intake duration and 287 degrees of exhaust duration at 50 thousandths. It's made out of a billet steel core. It runs 780 lift on the intake, 782 lift on the exhaust, sorry about that. And you know this thing is gonna have a radical idle. We can't wait to hear an idle clip on one of these, especially a dyno pull, for hopefully from one of our customers that's gonna be getting one of these. And of course, the real tricks to how this works is mounted here right on top. This massive single plane intake manifold, again, special to these cylinder heads and this engine only, holding a Wilson's manifold custom billet, black anodized, 4500 Dominator footprinted throttle body to run port injection. The injectors are 86 pounds per hour to feed that much power. And the fuel injection and the coil near plug ignition is actually how it pulls this trick off and pulls it off well. The coils are actually mounted underneath the intake here on the valley panel. I like that a lot. That's real custom stuff that you used to see back in the day. Now you're getting it from Chevrolet Performance. Nothing better than that, right? That is how it is able to run that high compression and still run on pump gas. It is definitely an efficiency in the cylinder head, which I'll go over a little bit more, but it's that fuel injection and ignition control is how it does it. This does run a 58X reluctor wheel like the LS engines. GM comes out with great technology. That technology ends up making its way into other racing programs and crate engines, and it's how we can all enjoy this 1,000 horsepower on pump gas. So the cylinder heads, if you're wondering what the RSX stands for, well, the RS stands for Ron Sperry. Some of y'all might actually know that name. That is a man who was an engineer for Chevrolet and Chevrolet Performance for a long time. I actually was lucky enough to meet this guy at SEMA last year when they introduced this. We were there early, me and Dane were filming, and he was standing around, and I just happened to recognize him and bump into him, and I was able to talk to him a whole lot about these cylinder heads one-on-one, these are named after him. He did stuff like the Vortex cylinder heads, a bunch of V6 and V8 racing programs back in the day, and of course, the LS cylinder heads, the original Cathedral Port LS cylinder head that made the LS platform the monster that it was from the factory, made it so all of us can just do a cam and bolt on and make a 400 horse easy out of a 5.7 liter Camaro or Corvette. He is the man that came up with that design. Well, they went back to him, even he's retired now. He was retired when I met him, but they're using his designs in this cylinder head because he did big block heads too. So this custom cylinder head for this engine is truly one of its own. And it's really cool that they took the LSX name and put his initials RSX on it as like an homage to him. I think that is so cool when people recognize and respect the history. And that cylinder head, we'll get some good shots of you here of how the ports work. GM sent us a bunch of good tech images of what you will see why these things can flow as much as they are. It makes 1,004 horsepower at 6,600 RPMs, 876 pound-feet of torque at 5,600 RPMs. The maximum revs are 7,000 RPM. So it is kind of a screamer as well as an absolute beast of an engine. It does run on 93 octane. I keep saying that because I just want to drive that point home. Most people, when you read online, they think this is race gas. They think it's E85 or some trick. 93 octane, certified on an engine dyno. We've seen the videos of them doing it. We know it can happen. We know they can be done. And it's really cool that for that price, you get this whole motor, you get all the electronics to run it back here. It's hiding behind me so y'all can get a great view of this engine. And it comes with the pre-tuned computer to run that. What a great package deal that is. One last thing, it does come with a really good oil system too. 8-quart baffled low profile oil pan on the bottom. So this thing is ready to swap into whatever animal you're trying to run on the street. Now, we really appreciate you guys stopping by for another one of our videos. This came in, I think, about 15, 20 minutes ago. I ran back here. I threw on somebody's spare shirt that I stole from him, whoever that is, thank you, in the office. And Dane came back here and mic'd me up, and we just wanted to film this because we are so excited. We got our first one in. It's off to the customer. We know he is going to be thrilled. We can't wait to see what he puts it in. We can't wait to hear what he puts it in, too. Like, subscribe, and share for more stuff like this. And we'll see you next time we have another 1,000 horsepower crate engine hopefully somebody else releases. See you next time.